So, you wanna build your own character. Well, you gotta start making informed decisions. First of which are backgrounds. Backgrounds are important because it's the most reliable way of gaining inspiration, which are rerolls for ability or skill checks. Checks meaning a roll for that ability or skill. Backgrounds will reward you with one of these inspiration points when you make decisions that reflects your backgrounds, aka being in character. So for example, if you are a charlatan, you should deceive more people. Also, inspirations are a group resource and will be gained even if the character in question did not make the said decision. For example, if you save Arabella, a child, then Shadowheart will still gain inspiration for the whole party, even though she did not make the decision herself. So it is beneficial to not double up on backgrounds. Aside from inspiration, backgrounds will also provide you with 2 skill proficiencies. More on proficiencies later. The next decision you have to make is your racial and sub-races. Race will determine your base movement per turn. If you are one of the small races, your base movement is 7.5. The rest is 9. Race also gives different passives or even active powers. For example, Drow gets Fey Ancestry, which makes them immune to sleeping magic. Also gets a free cantrip called Dancing Lights, which can illuminate dark areas. It will also give you a selection of proficiencies in skill or weapons and even armor. And race will also dictate your appearance. Hopefully, you don't need a guide for how you want to look. So I'm gonna skip the appearance tab. Lastly, your racial choice will also give you a +2 and a +1 to any ability score. And let's talk about ability scores and proficiencies. Proficiencies first. There are 4 types of proficiencies: armor, saving throws, skill, and weapon. Armor proficiency is 4 different weight of armor: light, medium, or heavy. A wizard's robe is not an armor. If you are wearing armor that you are not proficient with, you have disadvantage on ability rolls and you can't cast spells. Weapon proficiency lets you add your proficiency bonus to your attack rolls. If you use a weapon you are not proficient with, you will not add the proficiency modifier, which means you will less likely to hit your target. Same thing with saving throws proficiencies. It won't allow you to add your proficiency modifier to your saving throws, which makes it less likely to avoid or resist an effect. Skill proficiencies, same thing. You can still roll for the skill you're not proficient with, you'll just have lesser odds to succeed. At level 1, your proficiency bonus starts with +2, and it is added on top of your ability score modifier. Each skill is governed by an ability score. You will add your ability score modifier to these rolls regardless of proficiency. Well, now let's talk about ability scores. Strength governs athletics, melee attacks, jump and shove distance, and carrying capacity. Dexterity governs acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth, initiative, and natural AC. Constitution does not govern any skills, but it does govern important things, which is HP and concentration rolls. Intelligence governs arcana, history, investigation, nature, religion. It is also the spellcasting modifier for wizard. Wisdom governs animal handling, insight, medicine, perception, and survival. It is the spell modifiers for cleric, druid, and ranger. Charisma governs deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion. It is the spellcaster modifier for bard, sorcerer, and warlock. Some of the more notable skills are sleight of hand for lockpicking and disarming traps, stealth for hiding, arcana for identifying magic, insight for detecting lies or body language, perception for hidden things in the world and being alert, deception, intimidation, and persuasion for talking to people or dialogue. Now let's move on to class. Your class choice will give you saving throw proficiencies, your weapons and armor proficiencies, and 2 skill proficiencies of your choice from a list related to your class. For example, a barbarian will have a choice between animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. So if you want a wizard casting spells at level 1 with medium armor, you would want to combine a wizard with a race that gives medium armor proficiency, like the Githyanki. Your class choice will also dictate your HP dice, and these HP dice will be your base HP at level 1. Barbarian will have 1d12, Fighter, Paladin, and Ranger will have 1d10, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Monk, Rogue, and Warlock will have 1d8, Wizard and Sorcerer will have 1d6. Your total HP will be your HP dice plus Constitution modifier. But most importantly, your class choice should be something that you find fun. Classes will also have a classification called MAD or SAD. MAD meaning multiple ability dependent, and SAD is single ability dependent. It basically means if the class relies on more than one ability score, barring Constitution, because Constitution dictates HP, which is important to every character. For example, of a MAD class is a Paladin. They need Strength for their melee attacks. They also need Charisma for their magical spells. Rogue, on the other hand, is a Sadist class. They only need to rely on Dex. That's it. But one thing to note is subclasses can change their classification. For example, with Rogue, if you pick Arcane Trickster, then you would need Intelligence for your spellcasting. I'll make a more detailed guide about each class when I get my hands on them, because Larian did change a lot of things. And now for a little bit about leveling. The level cap of Baldur's Gate 3 is 12. When you level, your HP is increased by half of your HP dice plus 1, plus your Constitution modifier. This Constitution modifier is retroactive. For example, a wizard with 0 Constitution modifier will have 14 at level 3. But if they increase their Constitution modifier to plus 1 at level 3, they will have 17 HP. Your proficiency modifiers also increases as you level. At level 5, you will have a plus 3, and at level 9, you will have a plus 4. And at level 4, 8, and 12, you can increase 2 ability scores by 1 or 1 ability score by 2. And Larian also added a completely different progression system relating to the Illithid Tadpole. Give a man a build, and he will finish a playthrough. Teach a man to build, and he will never leave character creation.